back. I think it's back. And we got Brother Addison here. He's coming up in a few minutes, and we'll go ahead and get started. Well, because I still now I did the introduction, and now, guys, I want to go and do to the focus on the topic for today, right? So I want to show y'all, and we'll wait for Brother Addison to get back. But I want to show you, but the topic today, I'm excited about it. Uh, make sure I get it. I'm excited about the topic. Let me put it back up here. Is the fact is that I'm made, you're made, we're made in the image of God. I mean, it's so important to recognize we're made in the image of God. I took this from Genesis chapter 9, really, because we know it's in Genesis chapter 1. That, in verse 26, he said, let us make man in our image, in our likeness. We were made in the image of God. In verse 28 in Genesis chapter 1, it says that we are blessed. I am born blessed. Hey, I know Adam messed up, but now that Christ came back, I'm going back and conform back to the image and his likeness, and in his image that I am, and his likeness that I am also blessed because I'm born to be blessed. When God created man, he created us to be blessed. And I had the thing about it, like this in Genesis chapter 1. And then I sit there, and you're going to see my scripture coming up, is Genesis chapter 9. After the Noah's flood, he restated the same thing. So I want to be able to let you know, as you go through life, because I know in life, people love to sit there and dehumanize people. We got, people got this social construct. You got the upper class, the middle class, the lower class, but you know what? In the eyes of God, we're all upper class, huh? It's not about the wealth. It's about him. He is the creator. That's what I'm saying is in the title. You look at this title I'm excited about, is it the image of God made he man. You see what I'm saying? He didn't say red man, brown man, black man, Jew, Spanish, African, Middle Eastern. He said Chinese, Japanese. He said man. See, man tries to devalue one another to position and jockey himself in this world system. But in reality, you are in the eyes of God, there is no jockeying, there's no positioning. You are all made in his image and his likeness, and he is the king. There is no, we ain't worried about a world president. We ain't worried about a king in this world system. We're sitting there saying this, God is king over all of us, and he loves every last one of us. When therefore, regardless of how people want to devalue one another, God is telling you the date. Just in case if you happen to walk and stumble onto this video when it's posted, and then when it's going live, you are valued by God. You are special. You are unique. You are a blessing. You are an apple in his eye. You are somebody in the eyes of God. One of the days during the civil rights movement, they used to sit and say, I am somebody. Huh? I am a man. See, you had to put a post up because of the color of your skin. You said some people who've been taught for 400 years, some people have been taught to devalue somebody, to say you're better than somebody. Lyndon B. Johnson said, if you can convince a poor person, he said white, poor white person, that he's better than the best black person, then you can take his money, he'll give you more taxes than you can pick his pocket. You can get money from him because He been told that I have a status and I'm better than somebody else. I'm not, I may be poor, but I'm still better than somebody that's different from the color of my skin. And that person will ride with that because now they've been told that they are better than, not for what they did, but just based on the color of the skin. That they say, I'm not the lowest of the lowest. And not understanding that you, in God's eyes, you were never the lowest. You were never the lowest. You have always been the apple of his eye. Whether you're black, whether you're white, whether you're brown, you have always been precious in his eyes. Life matters, huh? You know, we sit there had that summer vacation, we talk about Black Lives Matter. And then some of you got offended because you're like, wait a minute, what Black Lives Matter? All lives matter. Well, in the eyes of God, all lives do matter. Huh? All lives are valuable. Huh? All lives should be treated under the equal protection of the law. Nobody should be feared for their life because of somebody's skin color. Nobody should be over policed because of their skin color. Nobody should be devalued because of their skin color. In the eyes of God, see, the point is this: God is the creator, not man. There's no, like I said, social construct. Poor white man, look, you don't buy into. You can do it if you want to, but don't buy into somebody saying you are better than somebody else to make you feel good. And then you forget about the fact is it didn't change your economic status. It doesn't, just because you see what I'm saying? You're focusing on the wrong thing. You need to focus on, hey, forget about the fact that my economic status is poor. You don't have to be poor. You can strive to be better. You can strive to move up on this social construct of the economic ladder. But to try to sit there on the social construct of being a white person better than every black person, and the fact is that doesn't get you nowhere. It doesn't put no food on your table. Doesn't make you better. It just makes you still poor. You focus and trying to fight over crumbs, and it's not even important. Brother Isaac, glad you're back because I was just giving some emphasis here. Look at the title, brother, because it's something we're talking about, the preaching the gospel anyway.
Mm-hmm.
In the image of God, this comes from Genesis chapter 9. I already know Genesis chapter 1, but look, this after Noah flood. In the image of God made he what? Man. No man can, you know, that little put it red, no man can devalue what God created. That's almost like, go back to your time when you was in the service and you know that you fixed something and somebody gonna sit there. Nobody can come and devalue the work you did.
Mm-hmm.
Or you see what I'm saying, on the work you did.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You get quality. You're the I got a QA person, right? You know that person can't devalue what you put together. Because all you say, you better run the checklist. Don't even walk over here saying it's jacked up.
Yeah.
You use the checklist, and I guarantee you, my work, is good. Well, this thing about how we took pride in what we did, just think, look, who created you? And do you don't think he don't take you? Are you tracking when it comes? Are you understand the words that are coming on my mouth? You are so valued by God. He said in John 3:16, God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten son. Huh? You are valued. And I want people to understand that to themselves, because you know how people, brother, people get depressed, don't they?
Yeah.
Why? Because they listen to what somebody else or even themselves think of themselves and not understanding how valuable, how precious they are. So what I wanted to put that as an emphasis of my topic today. And then look at this, I'm gonna go to the scripture that have not covered for the people is verse Genesis chapter 1, right? And God said, let the earth bring forth the living creatures after his kind, cattle and creeping things and beasts of the earth after his kind. And it was so. And God made the beasts of the earth after his kind, the cattle after his kind, and every creeping thing upon the earth after his kind. And God saw that it was what? Good. So everything God created, he said was good.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you good too, right? Because you was created by God. And then he said, God said, let us make man in our image. And I was telling the people you came earlier, was he ain't talking about this house I'm in. This house allows me to operate in this world.
Mm-hmm.
He's talking about my spirit. I'm made in the image of God. God is a spirit in John 4:24. And those who worship him must worship him in spirit and truth. You got to worship him in your spirit. After our likeness. That means, man, that's why I'm saying you're so valuable in the eyes of God, because you see what I'm saying? When God looks at you, I ain't talking about after we know the fall of man, we separated, but Christ brought that back, right? Christ restored that to those who want to receive him, right? So when God looks at you, he looks at you as he looks at himself. We talk about how the promotion system and the racism and all that other stuff, how somebody can, when they look at, who's the next general, who's the next, whatever, they look at themselves and see that person in themselves and say, that's a good leader. That would be a great leader, right? Well, when God looks at us, people, everybody that's listening to this, when God looks at you, he looks at himself. He's looking at his spirit. He's looking at the likeness of what he created you to be. And one of the things is you was created to be blessed. Look at verse 28. And God did what, Brother Isaac? I just want to know, what would you let the people know? What they may be driving the car, right? What the word say? Verse 28. What?
It says he blessed them. God blessed them.
Come on now. You see what I'm saying? Does that make you feel good? The fact is God blessed what he created. When God looks at your spirit, he looks at, that's why they say God looks at the heart, right? When he chose David, he chose a man after his spirit. Samuel was looking at the outward appearance. God told him, man, you're looking at the wrong thing. I'm looking at the image. I'm looking at the likeness to determine whether I want somebody to do and go and be what I want them to be. You know what I mean? So for anybody that's listening, I just want you to know how precious you are in the eyes of God. And I put down here verse 28, because I'm gonna go to the next slide. I want everybody to look at this. But look what he said. Go and read it for me, brother. I'm bringing you into it. I'm bringing you into it. I'm pulling so that spirit gonna hit you in a minute. A revelation gonna hit you in a minute. I'm gonna go to the next slide. What you got? What is that? 28. Just read 28 again.
And God blessed them.
Oh, what? He did what?
He blessed them. And God said unto them, be fruitful.
Yes, sir.
And multiply.
What?
And replenish the earth.
Oh, okay.
And subdue it.
Woo!
And have dominion over the fish of the sea.
Yes, sir.
And over the fowl of the air.
Uh-huh.
And over every living thing that moveth upon the earth.
Now, did it say have dominion over your fellow man?
It didn't say that.
I didn't see that at all. I didn't see that. I didn't see it in that. You didn't see it in there either, right? So I don't know what people thinking that they're supposed to have dominion over their fellow man. I didn't see where it says you're supposed to be able to devalue your fellow man and say he's less than. I didn't see that in there. You didn't see that in there either, did you?
All I know is he was talking to all of mankind.
Yes, sir.
Because all of mankind was in Adam.
Come on now.
And so he said, mankind do this.
And do that. And then he said, replenish the earth. And that means it was replenished before, wasn't it?
Yes.
Something happened. Something did happen. We don't know what happened. Because you know why I know something happened? Come go to the next slide. And I'd like you to read this next slide. Because I don't know, I didn't even, it was a revelation to me.
Yeah.
All right. So it may not be a revelation to you, but it's a revelation. Ha ha! But I'm gonna see that you read it, you'll see it as a revelation. Go ahead, brother.
Says, and God blessed Noah
Go ahead.
and his son, and said unto them, be fruitful and multiply and replenish the earth.
Oh, now what? Now we know that means we know that something happened on that one, didn't it?
Yeah. So look, in my mind, there was 2 floods. Because in the beginning, the Spirit of God moved over the face of the deep.
Come on, brother. Something happened.
So there was no land. There was only water. And there was only another time that I know that this world was covered in water. And it was during this time.
Isn't that amazing? I don't know. Did you ever see that before?
I never noticed that.
That is it. That's me too. I went, look at, wait a minute. And then it's like the fact is, God blessed Noah and his sons and restated what he said back in Genesis chapter 1. Woo! And the fact is, the background for some of y'all, man, was so, what happened? What happened?
Man. They were desperately evil.
They were evil.
They were wicked.
Yes, sir. He repented. He basically said he repented and made them.
Yeah, man, that's sad. That breaks my heart.
Yes, sir. That is that it got to the point where God has said, I'm through with him. I'm through. I'm gonna start it over. I remember that time, just like Christ said about the rocks, right? When they were saying, telling the people stop praising him. And he said, God can take these rocks and do the same thing.
Yeah.
Because he's the creator of all things. But yeah, I wanted you to see that because I didn't see that before. You know? As a matter of fact, read the rest of it, what it says right here.
It says, and the fear of you, excuse me, I have to sneeze.
That goes at bless you. That goes back to the domain again. Look what it says there. Yeah.
And the fear of you and the dread of you shall be upon every beast of the earth, and upon every fowl of the air, upon all that moveth upon the earth, and upon all the fishes of the sea. To your hand are they delivered.
Same as he did back in Genesis chapter 1. Go ahead.
Every moving thing that liveth shall be meat for you. Every living thing that moveth, that liveth, shall be meat for you.
Yes, sir. So that means it sounds like one man, right? It doesn't sound like a different type of man because that means the rest of the men would be food.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what I'm saying, I'm just noticing here, this was before there was clean and unclean.
Yes, sir.
Animals.
Yeah.
This was poke.
Yeah, because I guess you almost assume that everything he put on that boat was what he has sanctified as good for food.
Yeah. Now there was clean, which meant that there was, an unclean. You had the split hoof and the single hoof.
Yeah.
So, and that is what pretty much determined what was clean and unclean as far as animals were concerned for for nourishment.
Yeah.
But he said, and this is my first time actually noticing that and thinking of it in this manner. Every moving thing that liveth shall be meat for you.
Yes, sir.
Even as the green herbs have I given you all things.
Which it was within Genesis, the herbs and stuff was the meat.
Yeah. It says, but flesh with the life thereof which is the blood thereof, shall you not eat.
Yeah, don't be drinking
So
animal
I don't
blood,
think he was planning on anybody eating any raw
drinking blood, or yeah,
or any living creature.
yeah,
You
that's
know, I've seen wild animals
yeah,
like lions and
yeah,
hyenas.
yeah,
They start eating on
yeah.
an animal while
Why
it's
is
still
that?
alive.
Yeah, I was seeing that the other day. I saw even the Komodo dragon, or what do you call that thing? The poor animal when he subdued it, and the
Yeah,
animal was just sitting there, sitting up. It's on the ground with his legs down, right, and just looking forward while the animal is eating the insides of his guts and stuff.
yeah,
And I think the animals kingdom, like the lions, a lot of cases, because I've seen them do it too, but in most cases, you ever notice they go for the throat?
yeah. To kill them,
They,
suffocate them.
they want to kill the prey most cases before they start eating it. But
Yeah,
some cases they start eating it while it's alive, you know.
yeah,
But that's true. But the fact is, don't drink that blood too. You know, he said, don't be drinking the blood of the animal, because there's life. That's what the
yeah.
genetic codes are within the blood. You shall not eat. What
Yeah.
else there?
Okay, and 9:5, and surely your blood
Uh huh.
of your lives
Uh huh.
will I require at
Well.
the hand of every beast
Uh huh.
will I require it,
Uh huh.
and at the hand of man,
Uh
at
huh.
the hand of every man's brother will I
Uh huh.
require the life of man.
Yeah. You see now, that's why I wanted to emphasize this for today for people that from I don't care from a racist perspective, or just being a murderer. This is not the will of God to kill your fellow man. You know what I mean? Now, and I'm gonna tell you why. Look at it. Go ahead and read the next part of it, please.
It says, whoso sheddeth man's blood, by man shall his blood be shed.
Uh-huh.
For in the image of God made he man.
That's my title right there.
And you
Uh-huh.
be ye fruitful and multiply, bring forth abundantly in the earth and multiply therein.
And I like the emphasis.
That's true.
That is.
I don't know what direction or what permission that you have these men basically like Putin that's just going to just take the lives of innocent people
And
purposefully
and threaten the lives of the world, really.
for a personal agenda.
Yeah. And it's
And
out of fear.
and think that they're going to get away with it. I mean, they're how wicked can you be?
Yes,
How
sir.
far from God can you be?
Yeah.
Um,
And he got his own country. You got people leaving his country.
yeah,
That's bad when you flee in your own country.
yeah, yeah. When the lies no longer keep people at bay.
Exactly. Because how many children have died?
Yeah.
Going over there for senseless.
Yeah, family members that are because I mean, when it first started, they didn't even believe their own family when they were saying that Putin was invading the country,
right,
and that he was just killing them. They were
Yeah.
like, "No, you're lying," because they were believing the lie.
right. Until their loved ones won't coming back. Where's my loved one?
Yeah,
Yeah, they were captured or killed. And you saw those pictures where saw those dead, it's just like they left Ukrainians on the street. Some of them their hands tied behind their back, and they
yeah,
shot and killed.
shot him,
They
left him there.
saw dead Russians. So that was somebody's child lying on that street
Yeah,
that they call a dirty, evil person. And then the atrocities are coming out about the raping.
yeah.
They said all up to a 4-year-old child being raped.
Even great elderly. There was a woman said that they made her strip down, an elderly woman. Strip down. She said I think she was, if not in her 80s, older.
Yeah.
And she said they repeatedly raped her. They made her walk around naked,
Yeah.
while her husband was there,
Ain't that something?
elderly husband.
Yeah. You
Um,
see what I'm saying? Look at it. And that, remember talking about one scripture, the heart of man is deceitful of all things and
yeah.
desperate. It does not change, has not changed until a person receives and then actually receive and their heart is changed by God. You know? And this scripture right here says the fact that whoso shed his man's blood, by man shall his blood be shed. For the image, that's the key to it. See, that's what I'm saying. Y'all, all y'all values, and you all made in the image of God, and God recognized that in verse 6.
Mm-hmm.
God sees himself. If you kill your fellow man because of the color of skin or whatever you want to call it, you don't understand. That person is made in the image of God. It doesn't matter what kind of social construct you have, no matter how you want to say it. You didn't look, no man created another man, so how you could devalue another person?
Yeah, that's something.
Yeah. But that script right there tells you pay. If you don't pay here in this time, you'll pay later.
Yeah, that right there can only come from one place.
The devil.
And that's our enemy.
Yeah.
Satan. I mean, I can't think of anyone that could devise such a thing that you're going to take the value of another human and just put it below an animal.
And that's what you're seeing in 2022.
Yeah.
You're gonna take an old woman, what you just said, an old woman, and repeatedly rape her, and even have her walking around. It's like almost like, okay, how did you even? Let me come off this thing here. How did you even come? How did you even do it? What you know what I mean?
Yeah.
What how did you even do it?
Yeah. Where was your humanity, your sense of life in that? And then the sad thing is, here in America, we always look at other countries as being, just way beneath us. But I remember seeing on TV an old man with a cane that could barely walk.
Mm-hmm.
And the police just knocked him down until he cracked his head open. And then tried to spin it. To make it seem like it was his fault. For existing. And being in a space that they wanted to occupy. Because he was in it. Get out of my way.
Oh, but the old one was beaten there was a veteran that was they just beat him in the legs and stuff like that. Doing the Black Lives Matter thing. And I'm talking about, like, you're talking about all the atrocities that occurred in the past. I'm talking really 400 years. One of my friends kept saying that's responsibility of Christianity. I said, well, I would sit there and tell him, I said, I concur that the ministries, I separate now, saying the church and ministries, because ministries I consider you can be a so-called ministry.
Yeah.
You can even call yourself a so-called Christian. That's why I said the tree is known by its fruit.
Yeah.
And the fact is that a lot of people, if you're not in Christ, that's where all that evil comes, that meanness comes, that disqualification comes, and then they want to do bad things to people. Because all they're trying to find is an excuse, a rationale to do something. And there is no excuse to do evil. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
There is no excuse to do evil. Let me break this. People, I'm gonna come back. I'm gonna go ahead. I've been over the time, so let me top this one. God bless you. We'll be right back. If you want to catch us, you'll catch us. Not, God loves you.